All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is 9:02 on a Friday the 24th. Again, hoping that these Zoom days are potentially counting down sooner and sooner, maybe back into the gym. But for today, we have work to do, right? Nothing new for the warm-up as far as getting warm. 1 minute, getting warm in place. You can do a little jog, right? Run in place, jumping jacks, high knees, butt kickers, up, down, little penguin drills going in 3, 2, 1, and 1 minute just to get that heart rate up, get the blood flowing. Coach Kim here is doing the penguin drill with that double tap, so it's trying to simulate the double under with the jump rope. It's a really good drill just to practice the rhythmical part of the double under, right, which happens to be the most challenging part for a lot of people learning double unders, right? 20 seconds down, 40 seconds left to go, trying to get warm, get that blood flowing. Nice job. 25 seconds, hair adjustment. Again, you could change the movement too. You're not married to one specific movement, right? Unlike the typical warm-up where you're running, you're just gonna run. Here, if you want to switch to jumping jacks or up, downs or burpees, you can feel free to do so, okay? 10 seconds left. 5, 3, 2, 1, and relax, shake it out for a few seconds there, right? We got a couple mobility drills we're gonna do to get us primed and prepped. First thing we're gonna do, Coach Kim's gonna have her feet directly underneath her hips, slight bend in the hips and knees. She's gonna hinge forward, midline's engaged. She's gonna let those arms fall, and then she's gonna execute 10 hugs, alternating that top arm every time, right? 10 hugs total. Nice. You can see they're kind of relaxed, so she's getting that full range of motion in there. Next thing she's going to do, she's going to stand nice and tall. Both arms are going to come out parallel to the ground, and she's going to do a little bit of a twisting, right? It's an internal, external shoulder rotation, or the pretzels, right? Think about wringing a towel out. We're going to do that 10 times, 5 each direction, really trying to get that full range of motion in there, okay? Nice. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to take it to the ground. What we're going to do is we have a little bit of squatting today, air squatting. So we're going to try to open up the hips for that air squat position, right? So she's going to have her feet about squat stance apart already. In the top of this pike position, the top of this push-up position, she's going to walk her hands back towards her feet, pulling herself down to the bottom of the squat, just opening up that squat position a little bit, and she's going to walk it back out to the top of that plank position. We're going to do this a total of 10 times, 10 times. Nice job. As she's doing 10 of them, feel free to follow along, and we're going to stay on the ground for that last mobility piece, okay? And again, there's no rush. If you're watching this at home and we're going a little bit quicker than you, feel free to pause until you get your reps in, and then pick up wherever we left off, right? Nice job. Is that 10, Coach Kim? 10-ish? Yeah, sometimes I forget. I lose counting to 10, right? So what we're going to do now is we're going to execute a few Spider-Man lunges. So it's going to be a very, very deep lunge, right? That bottom position. So one leg's going to come up. If you want to, you could drop whatever elbow is the same side of the leg down to the ground and rotate towards the sky. You notice there she opened up the hips just a little bit. You could do that if you like to before you rotate to that other side. We'll switch over to the other side, right? So we're doing 10 total, or 5 per side. And this will be that last little mobility primer piece we're gonna do. Awesome job. Is that 10? All right. So what we're going to do next, I'm going to explain it. Coach Kim's going to do it. You can follow along with her. Or again, if you're watching at home, what you can do is set your own timer and you can do it on your own little pace there. But it's going to be the same time as us, so we can all do it together if we need to. not that yet. So we're gonna do a 3-minute EMOM, 30-second plank into 20 Russian twists. So within that minute, you need to get both that 30-second plank immediately into those Russian twists, right? So that's gonna be our goal, is to get the trunk nice and turned on for the workout that we got coming ahead of us, right? We'll go over the workout in a bit. We want to get that midline nice and engaged, nice and warm, nice and turned on, so that way when we're under load, especially uneven load, our body's firing properly. So again, it's a 3-minute EMOM. We can follow along here with this plot, right? 30-second plank, either from the hands or the elbows, into 20 Russian twists. For the 20 Russian twists, each tap is a rep. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so on and so forth until you hit 20. If you finish in about 40-45 seconds, the rest of that minute is for yours to rest. We're going back into that 30-second plank the next round, all right, or that next minute. I'm going to reset the timer. This is only 3 minutes long, okay? Going in 10 seconds. 5, 3, 2, 1, and work. As you're in that plank position, right, whether it's from the hands or the elbows, midline's nice and turned on. We're not piking those hips up and back. We're not sagging them either. I like doing it from the hands. It allows me to have active shoulders driving into the ground, so the shoulders are turning on. 15 seconds left, right? So if we have passive shoulders, right, I'll be sinking down like that, so I'm driving into the ground with those shoulders, okay? 5 seconds, you're gonna do those 20 Russian twists. 3, 2, 1, and go. 20 Russian twists. We gotta move. In that midline, nice and turned on. She's nice and stable. Her feet are nice and up. If we had an issue with these, we could drop the feet to the ground to add more stability, right? Good. We got about 15 seconds left. We're gonna do that 2 more times, right? 10, 5. Here we go. This is round 2. 3, 2, 1, and work. Same thing, trying to fight to keep that midline nice and engaged. Priming the trunk. Exactly. Apples have cores, trees have trunks. 10 seconds for those Russian twists, okay? 5, 3, 2, 1, and work. Russian twist. 20 seconds. 15 seconds, last one. And 5, 3, 2, 1, and last one. Let's go. 30-second plank. Fifteen seconds. 10, 5, 3, 2, 1, and last Russian twist. Go, 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 go. All right. 15 more seconds. So if you're still working, use that time. 10, 5, 3, 2, 1, and time. All right, so what we're gonna do now is, if you didn't already have something, what we're gonna need for the workout today is one singular heavy item, right? So whether it's a dumbbell or a kettlebell, or even some kind of abstract thing like the cinder block, or we have a heavy bag or something that we could use in both a farmer carry position and an overhead carry position, okay? So Coach Kim's gonna put up the whiteboard with the workout. I'm gonna talk about it, and then we're gonna go over the movements, okay? So if you haven't seen it here already, 2 rounds per time, a 400-meter farmer's carry. Now, if we're like working in the garage or the living room or somewhere where we're kind of static, Instead of a 400 meter, we're gonna do a march in place for 2 minutes. And I wanna have Coach Kim demonstrate that, right? She's gonna demonstrate the farmer's carry too. As soon as you're done with either that 400 meter or that 2 minutes, you're gonna go immediately into 50 air squats, right? It's not loaded. There's nothing crazy about it. Just 50 traditional CrossFit style air squats. Second part is the same concept with that 400 meter or 2 minute single arm overhead carry. So same thing, if you're not going for a 400 meter carry, or 400 meter walk, you're just gonna do 2 minutes stationary. Single arm means we're gonna change arms at 1 minute, okay? And we'll demonstrate that overhead position. And again, finishing with another 50 air squats. But remember, it's 2 rounds, so we're gonna go back to the top. So by the end of this is said and done, it's gonna actually end up being 200 air squats. So let's talk about the air squat. First of all, Coach Kim's gonna demonstrate the air squat. Right, perfect. Feet about shoulder width apart. She's gonna push those hips back first, keep that chest nice and upright. Nice, knees are driving nice and out. We're just not letting those knees cave in. That's what we're fighting for. So when we say knees drive out, all we mean is we're not letting the knees cave in. Yeah, like that. So that's what we don't want, all right? So, like I said, it's 50 air squats, but 2 times, which will end up being 200. If that is a lot, which it is a lot of volume, and you're kind of worried about it, we don't want to be sore for the next 3 days, we could do is cut those reps in half for the air squat. So you do 25 and 25, and in the second round, 25 and 25 again. And that's gonna give us a total of 100, so which is a pretty good. Or you could pick any other rep number you want. It's gonna be less than 50, right? Because that's still a lot of air squats. Now let's talk about the 2 minute or 400 meter farmer's carry. Now, if you had 2 dumbbells, you could do double dumbbell. But personally, I'm a fan of uneven balanced load, right? So that means one side of my body is having to work to compensate. If I had 2 matching dumbbells, I'm not having to fight to keep integrity in my midline. So I'm a big fan of single arm, heavy one side. So that means if you have 2 light dumbbells, maybe you can hold those, or 2 light kettlebells. Cinder block, we're gonna do one side at a time, right? You do have the option to do both hands, but what I prefer for you to do is one side unloaded, and we're gonna switch at the 1 minute mark. Coach Kim's got her 35-pound dumbbell. You could use the kettlebell if you like. So what you notice she's gonna do is that as she's gonna be marching in place. So first let's talk about position, right? Her shoulder blades are nice and pulled back, chest is on the front, midline's engaged, right? Her ribs are pulled down, so meaning she's not like arched like this. She's keeping that midline nice and engaged right here. Everything's turned on. Her gaze will be right in front of her. So she's not staring down, she's not staring up. She's just trying to keep her gaze nice in front. It's gonna ensure that her chest stays nice and upright. Obviously, she's got a full grip on that dumbbell. She's not gonna death grip it too hard because it's gonna make that lactic acid or that grip start to go too bad, right? For the marching in place, all we're gonna do is just exactly what it sounds like, marching in place, but we're gonna fight to keep everything nice and stable. So I'm not gonna be like marching like that, right? So at the 1 minute mark, she's gonna switch to the opposite side of her body, and she's gonna hold that dumbbell, same concept, right, for that second minute. 50 air squats after that, right? And then for that second part is that 400 meter or 2 minute again, single arm overhead carry. So in this position, we can clean that dumbbell or kettlebell to the shoulder, right? Or you could snatch it, get it straight up overhead, ensure that we're nice and locked out here. Notice there's no bend in the elbow. Everything's nice and turned on tight to her body, keeping that midline nice and engaged. The same concept. She's just gonna walk in place for a minute, one arm, switch over the other for the second minute, and then back down to the ground for the second round, over the second part of air squats. And then we're gonna repeat that same sequence again, one more time exactly like that. So what we'll do is we'll have Coach Kim here do it. We'll go off of her time. If you're at home, obviously, or anyone else is probably not gonna finish the air squats the exact time as her, so times could be thrown off. So feel free, if you're following along after the fact, you can set your own timer. If you need to go back to the workout that was written on the whiteboard, you can. I'm just gonna have a little 15-minute timer here for us to work off of. And we're gonna get cooking, right? And that's why we actually took the time to do those planks and the Russian twist to get this nice and turned on for that uneven load, right? You ready? Okay, going in 10 seconds, starting with that 2 minute single-sided farmer's carry. 5, 3, 2, 1, and work. Everything's nice and engaged, turned on. She's just marching in place as if she was walking, right? Her breathing's under control. The goal for farmer's carries is to go as heavy as you really can while maintaining integrity through that midline. What I mean by integrity is we don't want our back to do anything kind of crazy, right, that it's not naturally meant to be in, right? So as heavy as you could really go while maintaining good position. 30 seconds, then we're gonna switch to that opposite side. Of course, if you're doing that actual 400 meter, it's on you, depending however long it takes you, okay? "15 seconds. 10, 5, 3, 2, 1. Switch sides. Same thing, except now that we're on the other side of the body, now that opposite side of your trunk is trying to stabilize, right? So if my weight's in my left hand, this right side of my body is fighting to keep me pulled in a normal position, right? You can tell she get a little tired, the marches are going just a little bit. That's okay, as long as we're fighting to keep that midline nice and proper. 30 seconds, we're gonna go to that first 50 air squat. "15 seconds. 10, 5, 3, 2, 1, and 50 air squats. Again, this is where our times may get thrown off a little bit. So if obviously you were going with our timer, you may not do the air squats in the same amount of time that Kim here is doing it. So this is where it may benefit you to have your own timer, right? Nice job. She's getting a good pace in those air squats. Was that? It helps if you have a little rep counter too. I know I usually lose count of my reps, especially with high volume. So I'll usually do like tick marks for every 10, or there's certain apps out there called, what is that watch timer I use? Smartwatch. It's got like a little rep counter in there too. It happens, no big deal. Good. So now she's going for that overhead position, keeping it nice and tight to the body. Everything else is working the same, right? She's gonna mimic her carry or her walk as she would, right? So a natural carry right there she's got going on. Ribs are still pulled down, midline's engaged. She's keeping that arm nice and locked out, right? If you had bend in the elbow, and I don't want you to demonstrate that, if I had bend in the elbow, right, now all the loads on my tricep trying to fight for this position, not very strong, not very stable, okay? Just gonna lock it, keep it locked out. Good, and after 1 minute, right, we all finish those air squats at a different time, but after 1 minute one side, she's gonna switch to 1 minute the other side, okay? Nice job. Looking good, she's looking good. Now this overhead position is a little bit more challenging than the carry. I still would prefer us to do the overhead version of this, the second part. So if you need to, grab something a little bit lighter, but if there's nothing within reason that we can hold an overhead position, you could do that off-sided farmer's carry again if you need to. But again, like I said, if you had the means or we had the object, I would prefer for us to do this overhead position. So what Coach Kim just figured out right now is that if you're actually walking, we got to fight space, right? So as I move forward, now I'm going to have to stabilize this axis right here, right, to ensure it's not falling behind me. Whereas in place, I can kind of keep it locked in here. So it's one more thing kind of working against you, just to be aware. She has now entered the second part of those air squats, right? And that will conclude the first round. Kim's got a good rhythm going on here. Nice. And then after these 50 air squats, she's going to start back at the top again with that 400 meter or 2-minute farmer's carry, 1 minute per side, right? Good. She's halfway through. Nice. Again, she's fighting to keep those shoulder blades nice and back, chest nice and upright. You could tell she's trying to fight to keep her body counterbalanced, right? You could even see the angle a little bit. That's going to happen naturally. Looking good, looking good. At that 1 minute mark, she's gonna switch to the other side. There she goes, switching to the opposite side. Same thing, 1 more minute. Good. Keep that midline nice and engaged, right? You can put a smile on your face if you like, if you're having fun. Oh, there's music playing and she's dancing. She's walking to the music. Try to keep that spine nice and neutral. We don't want too much of the sideways action going on. We got to protect our back. That's kind of hard when you got music going. You're trying to dance with it. Good. So she's going to do that next part of air squats before she enters that final overhead carry. Good, looking good. Almost there. A little water break before we do those last overhead carries. go. 1 minute the first side. That's a little better right there. She's in pace with the song again. Yeah, I don't know if you can hear it or not. Again, even though she's a little bit tired, she's a little bit sweaty, she's still keeping that arm nice and locked out. She's keeping that arm tight to her center of mass, right? If it was out here in space, that's a no-go. It's a very dangerous area to be in, and it's very unstable, right? What you might find also is it's the dumbbell versus the kettlebell. If I had a kettlebell, that weight will end up being behind me, and this is one more thing that I have to fight to keep that center of mass a little bit harder versus the dumbbell stacked right on top of the ribs, which is a little bit easier to center, right? It's another concept or something to kind of consider as well as you're going through these movements. Boom, first minute, first side. Here we go, second minute, second side. Last minute, it's about as it goes. Kim went to the music louder. I forgot I had to go turn up on the stereo. Be right back. Good, keep that arm tight to the center of mass. Nice and locked out. And then once that final minute's done, we're gonna finish with those final 50 air squats. Final 50 air squats. Last 50 air squats, right? Get a good rhythm. I know air squats, when you get to volume, they start to add up pretty quick. So find a nice little rhythm there. If you have to shake out the steps a little bit halfway through and then finish with the last 25 or whatever number of reps you were doing, right? Nice, and that's time. She is finished. Awesome job, ladies and gents. We are finished for the day. Good work. Now, if you had your own timer, you were kind of going at your own pace, that's fine, right? But in conclusion, solid work. I'm a big fan of the single-sided, unevenly loaded carries, whether it's overhead, side, or any other version like that, even a front rack position, right? That's something that we don't too commonly do when we always use barbells a lot of times. So real good concept there. I liked it a lot. Hopefully we picked a safe number of air squats to do. We didn't do too many. That's going to leave us too sore, too tender for the next few days, right? But other than that, we are finished. Happy Friday. Feel free to do any mobility throughout the day. And it's been a pleasure having you here. And we hope to see you guys actually here sooner than later. But stay safe and stay healthy. And we'll see y'all soon. Okay, guys? Bye.